Okay, y'all, we are loading, but it's looking like, all right, we're good to go.
All right, thank you. Hello, I'd like to welcome you to a virtual open house where we're going to talk about the Mount Marty University Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction. I'm Dr. Debbie McEwen. I'm the Director of Graduate Teacher Education in Yankton. And I'd like to share with you a little something to look at as I talk about what the Master of Education is all about. At Mount Marty, our mission statement says that we are an academic community in the Catholic, Benedictine, liberal arts tradition that prepares students for a contemporary world of work, service to the human community, and personal growth. We take that very seriously in the Department of Graduate Teacher Education. We have our own mission statement that is specifically tied to providing experienced teachers an opportunity to professionally develop themselves within a research framework around the core ideas from the profession and for the sake of improving instruction and student outcomes. And what we know about teaching and learning when we're in education is that it's triadic. It has to do with content, it has to do with an instructor, and it has to do with students who need to take in that content. And so what we are doing in graduate teacher ed is helping teachers to develop intentional practices that will help them to do this well. We are told to have research-based interventions. We are told to be mindful in our presence and our teaching. We're told to use data-informed analysis, and we're told to increase our reflectiveness and evaluate for effectiveness. But many of us have not been taught how to do that. So we focus on that for in-service teachers in graduate teacher ed. The program that we're going to talk about today, Curriculum and Instruction, has program outcomes that actually teach us those things, those intentional ideas. Our first program outcome is that we want our students to use current research to understand and solve problems that develop right in their own teaching practice, or to develop enhancements to improve already good, solid teaching practice. We want to encourage you to create and use new techniques and to gather results from your own classroom information. Gather it from your own work that you're doing in order to inform instruction. And we want you also to develop a sense of comfort and skill working collaboratively. There should be no fear of giving or receiving feedback with a professional learning community. And so we practice working in those learning communities with our instructors and with our cohort members, our fellow teachers who are taking the program with us. The program is based on some of the leading organizations in teacher education in our nation. The National Board for Professional Teaching Standards, the Danielson Evaluation Framework, the InTask standards for teaching. What we know when we looked to put this program together, we looked at and compared and contrasted these educational leaders, really, to see what were the likenesses that we could develop our coursework around. And what we found were these things that you see in front of you. One row shows student learning, the classroom environment, learners and learning. One of the important things that these national bodies in education say need to be attended to is the actual learning theory of developing the learning environment, developing a philosophy that works with your learners. And so we have a course that's dedicated to that as its core content. We have a couple courses dedicated to the content knowledge and the pedagogical knowledge that's needed to put together intentionally good practices for teaching. We have courses that are designed to help us manage and monitor when we're instructing, what are we doing to measure whether or not the instruction was taken in? how do we balance the teaching piece with the learning piece? And as well, we're looking at this final professional responsibility, the systematic thinking, the development of professional learning communities that work together to become better, that are unafraid um, of, of being challenging and expecting the best, expecting the next level from one another. And along with that, we have action research. When they ask us to use research-based strategies, we need to know what that looks like. We need to know how to apply that to what we do. So we have a three-step process that we go through. We start in the Master of Ed at Mount Marty. We start with the research class. It becomes the lens from which we look at all the rest of the core content. Once we understand how to look at it, it's kind of like learning the scientific process, right? Once you learn that, you apply that to all other things that you're doing in science. And we say the same about the way we teach. So once we've learned that action research process, we're going to apply that to each of the core courses as they unfold in the program. And we're going to develop projects by looking at our current practice, applying the content of the course that we're currently taking, and then developing a project that would allow us to use research to make sure it's a fantastic and research-based process that we're developing. And then as we perform it, to gather data to see whether or not it was successful. These projects that we develop are then implemented during the school year in our own classrooms, and we gather the data to be able to report on how well we did. The Master of Ed at Mount Marty is a 2-year program. It rolls out beginning in June. It starts in the summer. And we do that because we know that's when teachers have time that they can dedicate to their own professional development. So we have three-week courses that will start you off the first summer. And these, we call them compressed and hybridized. So they're going to be both a little bit online and a little bit face-to-face. And they will be intensely compressed in 3 weeks. But really what it means is you would only be coming to campus 1 day a week through the summer. So that would be 9 days on campus. And the remainder of those classes is done online through online uploads and downloads from the learning management system that we use. So 3-week classes in the summer. One day of each week would be spent in Watertown on campus, face-to-face with your cohort. And the additional hours, which add up to about 16 to 20 hours per week, those hours would be spent on your own, working individually or sometimes in group work, and all through online connection. The practicum occur in your own classroom, and you never have to come to campus during the school year when you're teaching. We do have 3 different options for the way you can proceed through this. Most students do a portfolio at the end. The final class becomes a culminating reflective time to evaluate your change over time while you've been working in the program. You could do a classic master's thesis. I'll be honest with you, I've never had anyone opt to do the classic master's thesis, but you can. Or we have a coursework only option where you can either transfer in some previously done coursework that would apply to our program, or we have some new certificates that we're going to be starting. You would be the first group, the first cohort that would be able to partake in that. The schedule for the way our summers roll out is before you now. We would start with action research. After 3 weeks, move into learning theory. Another 3 weeks, we would do strategies and techniques for effective teaching. And this would take us 9 weeks from June, just about into the teeny beginning of August. In the fall, you would do a practicum. One of the projects you created in the summer, you would do in the fall, and another one you would do in the spring, and these are your choice. The next summer, you come back, and we do 3 classes back to back, just like the first year. We would do assessment and measurement. We would look at educational technology and how it can be used for effective teaching, and we'll look at creativity and critical thinking in the classroom. Then you would choose one of those projects to do your final practicum. And in the final semester, you would do your portfolio or your thesis. If you were opting to do the coursework only option, there are online courses you could take from us in the second fall and spring that would act as the coursework that you would be taking. So our program is going to start in Watertown in June. The costs for the program are $320 for tuition per credit, and there's a $45 fee per credit also, and that's for program support like the databases in the library, the personnel who support us with business office registration, the folks there in Watertown too, I imagine. A total for this course with 30 credits would be $10,950, and if you shop around, you'll find that that's a very fair price. Traditional financial aid is available. You would complete the FAFSA just like you did in your undergrad work. The admission requirements are listed here, and I'll just talk you through them briefly. We do require a GPA of 2.75 or higher. The closer we get to that 2.75, the more difficult the writing becomes, is what I found in my experience. We do like to have 1 year of teaching experience prior. However, I know some of you might be in your student teaching right now, and if you would be working in education like student teaching, or if you, substitute teaching, or if you found a long-term sub, that could qualify for that beginning teaching experience. And the reason is, that we need you to have some experience so that when you're creating a project in strategies and techniques or in educational technology, if you're looking to solve a problem, you need to have been in the classroom a little bit in order to know what would be a good place to start. We need you to be employed in a classroom during the 2 years you're in the program, because that's how you're going to take your practicums and make them happen. So we need to be able to work with students. And if you have personal things that are unique, for instance, I've had preschool teachers who do in-home preschool. We've been able to work with that. As long as you've got a group of participants you can use as the subject of your research, we can work with your employment. It's been my experience. We need you to write a personal statement. And this really just helps me get to know you a little bit. What are your goals? What are you hoping to get? Why would you choose this program instead of a traditional one or a completely online one? And then our final thing is that we want some recommendations about you. I would like to hear from a principal or a work supervisor, somebody who could talk about your dedication to working hard and completing tasks. And then maybe some of your teaching colleagues, or if you're recently out of school, a professor or an advisor who could speak about what you bring to the program. So this is what our program looks like. I would like to introduce you to Kim Bellum, the director of our Watertown campus, and allow her to talk with you about the Watertown campus a little bit. So allow me a moment to stop sharing. There we go. And then Kim, would you pick up?
I would. Thank you, Debbie. Welcome to our virtual event here, our open house. When we did actually have our open house in October about this program, we picked the 1 week of so far the fall that we've had snow. And so thank heavens we don't have any more of that. But I just wanted to say a couple of words. We have moved our location to the north end of Lake Area Technical College's campus. We have some beautiful office space and some brand new classrooms that we're holding our courses in now. We had a wonderful fall semester here for our students. They enjoyed the opportunity to take their courses in a new classroom, to have access to some good study space. And so that would be the same for those of you that would be interested in this program throughout the summer. We've got some great new facilities for you. We're down here in their new healthcare wing. And so that's exciting for us. We have a fireplace area, a lot of fun stuff. And then of course, during the day in the summer, when you would be here the one day, access to the college campus coffee shop and bookstore and those kinds of amenities that our college students expect in this day and age. So We're very excited about the opportunity to offer this program. In my former life, I worked as the Dean of Academics at Lake Area Tech, and we had several of our faculty who took this program the first time through and spoke very highly of it. And for me, that was nice, but what was really the affirmation for me for this program was going in and, as part of my job, evaluating them in their classrooms and just watching their growth as educators. It was absolutely phenomenal, and it was so heartwarming to see that all of their hard work and dedication to the program paid off for our students. And I would anticipate nothing less for this new cohort either. And so it's very exciting to me to be able to be in this new position and hosting it once again here in Watertown. Back to you, Debbie.
Good. We're going to pass this to Adrian. Sister Adrian Kaufman is going to talk a little bit to you, especially you alums.
Well, alums, what fun it would be to have you back for a master's program. And if you're not an alum yet, it will be fantastic to have you become one. I have not stepped foot into this program while it was in operation. However, I learned how good it was by going to Dempsey's at alum night, and all of our students were welcomed back, and guess which cohort glommed together and was the most enthusiastic and had so much to share with each other. They had tables reserved so they could all sit together. It was the master's cohort. They had become such an enthusiastic community, and wow, all they had to share with each other told me everything I needed to know about the value of the program. In December, sadly, we said goodbye to one of our teachers who graduated in December and went off to become a permanent substitute for her spring semester. And when I said goodbye to her, she said, I'll be back for the master's program. Not sure yet if it's going to be this year or when the next cohort starts, but I'll be back. And I know more than one of you who are alums that have said, oh yes, this program's for me. So come on back, because we can't wait to see you again and to have you actually share with us what your teaching experience has been. So I know it will be a wonderful program, and believe you me, I'm not going to miss one of those days on campus when you're here, because I want to experience it too. So take good care, and we will enjoy more than one time at Dempsey's once you're out of this program, but while you're in it, we'll enjoy you too.
Lovely.
So Debbie, it's back to you.
Thank you. I would like to share with you a little bit of a testimonial from Sheree Hurlbert, who is one of our alums from the cohort that graduated in 2018. And she is a professor at Lake Area Tech, and this is what she sent to us to share about the program.
Hi everyone, sorry I couldn't be with you live tonight, but what an honor it is to be asked to discuss with you my takeaways from when I was a member of the Mount Marty Master of Education cohort in 2016-2018. Dr. Debbie has asked me to address some of the takeaways that I had from the experience, and let me start by sharing with you what I think are the best features of the program. The tough times, and we did all of that. And still, when I see those people today, you still feel something for them, and you feel indebted to them because they helped you through. And one of the things that I think I can remember the first day we all got together to start this cohort, I think there was a lot of us who felt, and I was probably the number one, who weren't quite sure that we had what it takes to get through a master's program. And if anything the program did for me was to allow me the ability to say, yes, I can, and I did it. So if I could tell you one thing to do, it would be to do it. And it would be that you can do this. And the cohort allows you to do that, because what you'll notice is everyone has a strength that they bring to the family, and we helped each other out with our strengths. And that to me was invaluable. The next thing is the instructors. The instructors take each one of you individually and help you through whatever it is that you need assistance with. So you're not just a person signing up for a course and filling a seat. You are someone, and you never feel invisible in the Mount Marty courses. So I recommend Mount Marty wholeheartedly for this program. The other best feature that I took away is the action research. And I know that sounds a little daunting, but in the end, it is so worth it because it has made me a better teacher. But the thing about taking this master's program is you get to adjust your research to you, to what fits you and your position and where you're at in your teaching career. So nothing is just fluff. It's all for you, and you can take it back to your classroom and apply it. And I still use my action research today, and it has changed my thinking. It has allowed me to not just go, oh, that didn't go well. Well, we'll do it again next year. No, when something doesn't go well, you have to find out why didn't it go well, and then take it through the process of the research and the study and the implementation, and that makes you a better teacher. And I tell you what, my thinking has definitely changed because of that. And why not take these 2 years that the program runs and use those 2 years to study and to learn things that would best suit you. So I appreciate the program for that, that it allowed me to individualize the studies, the research to what I needed as an instructor. And I tell you what, the other thing that I appreciated are the instructors. Wow, great people. They address you and what you need, and they tend to you. And I appreciate Mount Marty for that so much. So, if anything, what feels good is that you can do this, and you'll walk away with a great family that helps you get through it. And in the end, it's just so worth it. All right, that's all I have, and congrats to all of you for pursuing your master's degree. I wish you all the best.
So I'd like to end by just talking with you about the admission timeline. Enrollment is open now. The application deadline is April 1st, and then you will be notified of acceptance by April 15th. Our summer courses begin the first week of June. Typically, we have met on Wednesdays. If you want to be part of this cohort and Wednesday presents a problem for you as that ongoing 9 weeks of Wednesdays, you need to let me know, because we could make adjustments to that if we do it early. The admissions, that application process is all done online. You just go to www.mountmarty.edu, and in the search bar, enter curriculum and instruction, or you could enter graduate programs. And it'll take you right there. Look through the website, click through the tabs and see what it says. If you have questions, there's a tab. You can connect right to me. Don't hesitate to ask. I'd be happy to talk you through anything. If you have questions now and you would like some answers while we're here in this virtual open house, we can take care of that as well. I think I will come out of my screen sharing if I can figure out how to do that again. Let's see, do we have anything that's come into our chat or on Facebook? Hey, if you think of a question that you have for us, please don't hesitate to call. You can call the Watertown campus, you can call me, you can use email. We'd be happy to answer any questions. We thank you for your time today. We thank you for joining us, and we wish you a really happy holiday season.